My name is Rob Desilets, and I'm one of the developers at churchstreaming.tv. And today I'm going to talk about Apple TV app development. For those in here that are interested in Apple devices, the new Apple TV will now have an app store, and we happen to have one of them. So if you're interested in coming by the table, you can play around with it. See here in the back, let's see. So it's, as you probably know, it's now completely Bluetooth, the remote. So you don't have to be pointing at it. I actually was on the other end of the stage testing it earlier, and it works fine. You have what they call the top shelf on the top, and they don't have the App Store on here yet. This is, the Apple TV runs what's called tvOS, and tvOS Beta 2 just came out last week. So they haven't officially put the App Store on here, but they have a little program called Test Flight. So if you have a developer Apple TV, you can put your own apps on here, or you can give your app to up to 100 folks to help you test. So Jason wanted me to make sure that I mentioned that we're working with Northwoods, and they're going to be the first app that we're developing. So the way that it works is there's two different ways to actually develop for the Apple TV. For those that have done any iPad or iPhone development, there's the old school way. Well, it's not really old school way. It's the harder way, where you actually build all of your UI views and everything using a lot of the native libraries. One thing that they don't have, which is really important, is they do not have a web view. So a lot of folks in the iPhone app world, they'll have a web view where they just have the app is really just a shell, and they're loading all kinds of web pages from their church and stuff like that. Apple TV does not have that anymore, so you actually have to use all of their native controls. So I think you're gonna see a lot less Apple TV apps than you do Apple TV apps as opposed to iPhone apps, because people are going to have to develop them from scratch themselves, as opposed to just putting a shell and then pointing them at a bunch of web pages. So Apple's really has a lot of control over the look and the feel of the Apple TV. So the way that the Apple TV works, for any of you who've done Roku development, it's very similar. The device itself is an app that you install from the App Store, and then it's just a series of hits to web services on the back end. So as you're scrolling through and clicking buttons, it's constantly hitting the back end web services. So they have a new language that they're calling tvML. And what tvML is, it stands for TV Markup Language. And let me make this a little bit bigger here. So what TV Markup Language is there's a host of templates that have different purposes. So for example, you can see along the left here, they have an alert template. This is a catalog template. So when you make a web request from your app, you'll return XML that will essentially define the template you're using, and then give a bunch of attributes for that template. So here's an example right here. So the catalog template will have a banner, and it'll have essentially all of the content for that particular template that you want to display. And what it does is it allows somebody to come to market fast with a tvOS app. You don't have to learn Objective-C or learn Swift or learn some pretty sophisticated languages if you wanted to do the UI stuff, the UI view stuff. So this really, if you can build XML on the back end in your web services, and then the tvOS actually will handle parsing all this XML and displaying it. So you can see here how pretty straightforward it is. Let me go to another template here. So for example, this is a compilation template. So when you return the XML, it'll look something like this. So essentially what you can do is you can go through and lay out your entire app. So for example, with Jason, we're working on a home screen with the top shelf image. and then he's going to have series. So for example, when we first go in here, like for example, let's see, is it the main template or the menu bar template? I forget which. Okay, so for example, this would be when you first go into the app, you'd have live, so you could watch the live stream, and then you'll have archives, and then you'll have, say, current sermon. And then when you drill down, you can go, we're going to go into, let's see, like a compilation template. So if you're having a series, you could go in to a particular series, and you can have all of your series categorized in a very elegant way, so when people at home are trying to navigate. So anyways, I just want to kind of give you an overview. I'm not going to obviously go through all of the templates, but you can also have compounded templates. You can, obviously have a player, and I'm not sure at this point, but the iPhone also does have Siri. There's a little mic on here. I don't exactly know how that works yet, but my guess is that you're going to be able to put some keywords and things in there. So somebody could say, show me all whatever the series name is, videos, and then the Apple TV will bring up all of the videos for that particular series or whatever. So I haven't played with that yet, but I'm guessing that's the way it's going to be. Here's just another page that I want to show you if you're more interested in Apple TV development. There's a whole host of guides, human interface guidelines. A lot of this, the human interface guidelines is really more designed for people that are building it from scratch using the UI kit. But again, just want to show you that this is an example of what the top shelf. So you'll be able to have your own nice icon at the top, and then users will be able to put their own, kind of like with the iPhone, where you can put your own icons on the bottom. The users will be able to put their favorite icons on the top. So they'll maybe have your church icon or whatever. Another thing I want to show you is the images real quick. So the images are also different. You can see how that's kind of rotating around. What Apple's doing is, for all of their images that you submit to the App Store, they're requiring you, I'm just trying to find it here, they're requiring you to have all kinds of, like 3 different sizes and different layers. So when you submit an icon, you're not going to submit a finished PNG. You're going to submit layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3, and you can see here, if I can go back up, you can see right here for this icon here, it's really 3 different images that you submit to the App Store, so you give your users that specific kind of look that they're looking for where they're rotating. All right, finished 2 minutes early. Anyways, that's all I wanted to show you. Thank you.